Hey everyone! I want to introduce myself. My name is Liz, and I kind of wanted to just do this video. It's going to be kind of short and to the point, just to answer some questions that everyone has had about the TAPIF program. Basically, the process from getting COVID tested all the way to finally arriving to France. I know I had a hard time. I know for me it was extremely stressful, this entire process, and I know a lot of people having a lot of questions, and some of the questions I wish I would have had an answer to when I was going through all of this. So basically, I called the airline about like 10 times just to ask them different questions to make sure I had all the answers correct. And one of the most important things that I was wondering was like regarding the COVID testing, because I wasn't sure how of a possibility was to actually find a place that would give me results within 72 hours. Was it 72 hours from departure? Because I had, okay, so my flight that I took was from Las Vegas to Atlanta, Atlanta to CDG, and CDG to Lyon. So, for my question was, did I have to actually take a test 72 hours from the time that I arrived to France, or 72 hours from the first flight, so from departure flight? And I actually got different answers from the airlines. I was very confused, so I asked it on the group. I did get an answer. Then I just called 2 more times just to make sure. I spoke to 2 different people, and they were correct. So basically, your test has to be good according to my airline that I use and the people that I spoke to. I can't speak for everybody and everyone's experience, but for as far as the flights I took, which was with Delta, my first flight, and the second flight was with CDG, and then I took a train with SNCF. So as far as Delta and Air France, they told me that my test had to be good for 72 hours before the Delta flight. So what I did, I took my test because I actually work in a medical field. So I took a test where I worked, and they were able to return my tests within 72 hours prior to my flight. And when I arrived to my flight, basically what happened is they asked me for my test right away, right before boarding. Well, they asked me for my test. I was in Vegas, so I took the test I showed them the test in Vegas, and then that's it. It was really simple. When you check in all your luggage, you have to just show your test, show all your documents. And after I landed in Atlanta, and I didn't have to check in my baggage again. It was just straightforward with Air France. You do have to show them your documents. So they did ask me for my COVID test. So I showed my COVID test and ask everybody else. So if you're going straight from where you're going to France, they're gonna be asking you for your test. I did see 2 people get denied. One because they forgot their results and they couldn't find them. The other one because I think she had dual citizenship, but she had American citizenship. So I guess since she had American citizenship, she had to take the test. I don't know. But they had a whole situation with them. As far as me, I was still good because I was within the 72 hours of my first flight. My second flight, I wasn't within those hours, but it was fine because they had told me it was just for the departure flight. So if you're worried about that, just go ahead and talk to your airline and make sure you get answers from them, because they will know. And then regarding my visa, so I had my visa appointment on the 31st, and I actually did with the wrong one with the talent visa, but I turned it out being fine. I went to my VFS in LA, and I got my visa within a week and a half. Sorry, like the light's changing. So I got my visa within a week and a half. So that was extremely fast. I was very impressed. So the turnaround rate is pretty quickly, and I see most people are getting it within a week. So yeah, and as far as the airplane process, I guess my airline, since it was Delta, what they do is they skip the middle row, so you have a little bit of distance between you and that person next to you. But that from Las Vegas to Atlanta, that was completely full airplane, completely full. Besides obviously the middle seats, and it's pretty spacious. And then my second airline was Air France. That one, I don't know if at that point, maybe I was one of the first ones to literally fly to France as an American with this kind of visa, the travail temporaire, with that kind of visa. So there was nobody in my front row, there was nobody behind me, there was nobody in my row, there was no one. But I paid like $30 extra to sit more in the front. I know in the back they still had space, but I don't know if it was exactly like where I was sitting at. I just didn't want to be around too many people. So I did pay just like $30, which is really not a lot, just to sit more forward so I can just get off, because I was scared that I would miss my train and I didn't have to worry about that. So another thing is, people were wondering, another question I got is regarding customs. So when it comes to customs, I was like thinking for some reason, oh, it's gonna take like 3 hours maybe to go to customs, because I kept putting all these different posts. But actually, it was so fast. It was actually faster. I've been to Paris a few times, and it was a lot faster than those times. It was pretty go. As long as you get your COVID test, because they're gonna ask for you for the COVID test. Also in Paris, they're gonna ask for it. When was it? When you go through customs, I think they asked for it twice, 2 different places. I had to show my COVID test to the person when I got my baggage, and also to the person through customs. So I got it twice. So in total, I had to show my COVID test like 6 times, and it was fine because it was within the hours and nobody ever said anything to me. It was really simple, really easy. They literally just looked at my passport and asked me why I was there, and I showed them my visa and my COVID test, and that's it. It was pretty simple. So I brought with me extra stuff because I think it's always better to have too much stuff than not enough. So I have my attestation de nominación, and I also had a letter from like the one that Aaron had written saying that I work for this job, and I also had my COVID test, which a couple people looked at all my documents, but I just didn't want there to be more questions that I couldn't really answer. So it was pretty straightforward. And then, so yeah, as far as the customs, that was literally customs for like 10 minutes. It was so fast. It was really, really fast. It was like in and out. And then I had actually, since I was taking a train from CDG, Paris, to Lyon, I gave myself 4 or 5 hours because I was scared I was gonna miss the train, because you have to like check in 20 minutes prior. I literally was there sitting down for 5 hours because I had so much luggage I couldn't even move. So I would say definitely you do not need that much time. Do not stress out. I stress myself out to death with all these things, and honestly, it's just not worth it. Everything's gonna go smoothly. As long as you have all the documentation that is required from your airline, you really should be good. And yeah, if you have any other questions, I know my post got deleted, so I don't know all the questions that were on there, but the ones that I got on DMs, I was able to answer, and some of the other questions I got asked. So yeah, and I also have gone now through, I live in Lyon, and I did like I got foyer de jeune travailleur, and I also did my bank account. I did a lot of administrative things like this past few days. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and comment down below, let me know, and I can go ahead and make sure I make more videos with more information that you guys might need. All right, bye, and I hope to meet you guys maybe soon.